Hello. Pull up a chair and join us in the alcove. Here for a brand new year with a brand new episode. Episode number 57 of our homebrewed 5th edition D&D campaign, The Chaoslands. As always, before we start, we have a handful of quick announcements, so let's get through those really quickly. We go live on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, with VODs available immediately after the stream ends. You can subscribe to the channel down below to get a notification whenever we're going live. While you're following us on our streaming platform, you'll also find links to all of our social media accounts, our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Go ahead and follow those for all the latest news and schedule updates, as well as awesome character art, profiles, and other fun things. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Fun
There will
things.
definitely be some fun things
By
coming
the end
in
of
the
campaign,
very near
we'll
future.
have one fun thing.
We'll have some fun things coming in the very near future.
What does that mean?
We use a variety of background music to improve the ambiance of our game and stream. And you may recognize some of it from Critical Role's Welcome to Tal'Dorei, Welcome to Wildmount, and Candela Obscura collection albums, as well as some royalty-free music courtesy of Riot Games. Links to those can be found below. Alright? That's all the announcements.
Is that your dice box for tonight? The camera box?
Nice. You have anything else to say?
Sleep over with the vampire. It's the
Happy
last thing
New
I
Year.
know.
Yeah, Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year, everyone.
Yeah.
2024.
Well, let's begin with our dive into the Chaos Lane.
They can't see you. Like you put the ketchup to the bite.
I wasn't doing it to them.
The Iron Will, having arrived in the distant and unfamiliar Frostfang Woods, and having restored their ally, the Big One, from the dead, had begun a long and treacherous journey toward the Rexate of Silthia, in search of answers and information about the red lightning rifts that plagued the continent of Rivenacht. Traveling through the woods for a few days, discovering such strange sights such as a hot spring, a scorched tree, and fending off a pack of rabid undead wolves and their strange patriarch Frank, you were approached one night at your campsite by a strange figure. A frail-looking young woman in an ill-fitted suit of heavy armor, who introduced herself as Shaira, and informed you that the woods would not be safe for you the coming night, as it would be a full moon, and the lycanthropes that make these woods their home would be in a rabid frenzy. Instead, she invited you to her home, only about half a day of travel away from your campsite, and she promised that no harm would come to you. In order to find her home, she gave you a small stone arrowhead and instructed you to use it to guide you there.
And we fucked it.
At your questions and wariness, she confirmed that she was indeed a vampire. But she insisted that she lived a fairly peaceful life in the woods, feeding only on the blood of animals.
I'm an animal.
Upon arriving at her home, an old but well-maintained stone manor encircled by a wrought iron fence, you met her manservant, Gregor, and made yourself at home within her parlor until sunset, at which point Shae joined you. She asked whether the magical trinket she had given you was still on your person, especially since she revealed that it would serve as a way to make sure anyone using magical means to spy upon you would not be able to hear your conversations. Unfortunately, you had very recently stowed it away within a bag of holding.
No.
But thankfully, no interesting conversations were had until said stone was removed and brought back into this plane of existence.
Shit.
Her secrecy and her discretion, she revealed, was because her ancient sire had seemingly displayed an interest in you. The vampire responsible for converting her from an exceptionally bright prodigy at the Syncrophic Academy of Magic in Silthia into a creature of the night. A sire named, one that you recognize, Karis Miranon. With this name and figure hanging over your head, you all began to have a conversation, sort of chat, the sort of slumber party here at Calidune Manor.
A sparring.
And she guided you up from her sitting room in the parlor with Gregor lighting the candles along the walls that don't necessarily seem to be lit much upstairs into essentially a studio of sorts, an artist studio with a bunch of painting easels,
That thing's always.
canvases, paint,
Keep going. It's fine.
everything set up. And after leafing through a few canvases, found one that seemed rather more relevant to all of you. She pulled out a large canvas, a map, one that you had all been rather curiously looking for.
Oh.
Some information about the rest of the continent.
What does it look like?
Oh my god!
Oh shit! It's from Walmart.
Oh, no, it's like,
Oh, whoa! you went all out for this
You
one.
don't care if I rip this part, right?
You went all out for this one.
Yeah, just don't
I got a
snap
teaser of this for my birthday.
Oh.
I'm
A
guessing.
very small teaser.
A very small
very,
teaser.
very small
Oh my
I'm
teaser.
guessing it has to do with
Schemas.
Can we
That's what it sounds like. I wonder
Middle
what's the
Earth
schema thing.
map
Yeah.
with this map?
Come on, Derek.
If the print quality is good, I will
Open
get
it! Come on! That's what Christmas is like.
Hurry!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I see purple.
Wait, there's
two. There's
Oh,
Dead.
That one's cool. That one's cool.
Yeah. No, you guys look at that
I
one.
didn't know there were two.
I want
Oh, is it like a
Oh my
canvas
God.
material?
Oh my God.
You guys can both look at
So that's
it,
the-
but there's a lot of really interesting potential stuff.
We'll take pictures for you guys.
And I will also just send the art so that we can just tweet it.
Oh my god, this can go
Oh
on
my
Instagram.
gosh, dude, this is
Void
incredible.
Reach. Look, that's where the purple tree is.
The floating purple tree.
With this-
There's the Northwind
Where-
Pass with the Catsnack's teeth.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
Frostbang.
Frostbang.
Yeah, but we're
trying
heading
to get
towards
down. We're trying to go
Sylvia.
So when we
Yeah.
said we were almost there, we're not.
Yeah,
really
there's a huge.
There's the plains.
Oh, cool, there's
desert.
Denmark.
Can we make a detour to Lake
Did you guys see the Void Reach?
Linnevum?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
that
tree.
You all look at the map and different things,
Oh,
different
we're acting
points
like
of
this thing
interest.
whole trip.
You're basically like all of you
What is
as
that?
in
Fort
character are
Celestia.
doing this.
Purple.
Look
Yeah.
at the screen.
Well, we're definitely sailing a boat at some point.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, 4?
What's this? The map?
Dude, this is awesome.
This is amazing.
I'm glad the print quality came out.
Very good.
Wow, that's incredible.
So each of the cities has their own coat of arms and sigil on
Yes.
it, which is also
Wait, where
relevant.
was Icefall was in the north, right?
It's
The
like
Sylphia
north
looks like
of
it's like
where-
Oh, it's a lot closer than I thought it
It's
was.
underground
Close.
mostly, right?
Yeah.
Can we hold it up to the camera?
Like this one's underground mostly, right? It's like in like mountains,
I
like
think
a,
it's a little bit low.
It's not gonna come up.
It's-
We're
it's-
gonna
We'll put up the art for it.
Okay.
That's
Oh
so
my
sick,
lord.
dude.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I will give a big shout out to Incarnate, the software that used to make this. They're awesome. It's a
Yeah,
very
it's
great
really cool. There's
interface,
a little-
very easy to use. The last campaign map that I did, I made using Photoshop with a bunch of brushes and stuff, and it took way longer and had a lot less color details on it. Incarnate made coloring a lot of the stuff a lot easier and made it look
That's
badass and
very
cool.
I feel like
So-
we need to get that framed and hung
Yes.
up wherever we have our
Oh, it's
sessions.
going,
Yeah.
it's going in my new place.
I want one too.
We can all
I'm
reference it.
gonna order more. If the print quality is good, I'm gonna
I
order more.
feel it. It's
This
so
is
nice.
the
It's
best
like a
day of
map.
my life.
I haven't actually seen
Yeah,
it yet.
this one can probably easily print because it's like
yeah,
a,
it's nice canvas.
Yeah.
That
That's
one feels
awesome.
glossy. Is that
Oh,
one not
yeah,
glossy?
this one,
No, it's
no,
like-
this
it's
one's
like
matte.
matte
It
paper.
feels really nice.
It's like a
actually.
canvas paper, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, you guys can keep it. No need to pass it back to me.
Dibs.
You all are kind of
I'm
struck.
putting it in my washroom.
there it is.
You all are kind of struck looking at this map of this world that you've never seen laid out in this way before. All of you have lived in this land, but in different portions of it, you've never seen the vastness and all these strange landmarks, all these locations, these places, these things that you only heard about in memory. And I think for a moment you all are just flabbergasted looking at this map.
I don't see north.
That's where you're from.
Hi, I'm from here.
I'm
from here.
Oh,
The world is flat.
Wait,
Oh, don't start.
where are you from?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I bet you're from here.
I don't see north listed.
Where's north?
Where's north?
Up north.
Oh, where?
No, north.
Where's the
My
tower?
compass doesn't have
I don't see it on here.
Weird. Maybe you're from this purple tree.
Wait a minute. We've all seen that purple tree.
Where you all
I haven't.
first met was right here. Well, at least not you two, obviously,
Yeah.
but the three of you, where that you all met was like around here.
Oh, at the border of that forest?
Because you remember traveling through the Northland
Campaign
Pass.
Zero
through the
episode
River
was
Valley,
where you
all
fought
the
with
way
things.
That's where I almost died.
Yeah.
It is right inside of this forest.
That's where I was dead.
Yep.
Wait, where are you from?
I.
On the map.
Where are you from? This one?
Denmark?
Oh,
Mernon.
Mernoin.
That's pretty far.
Mernoin.
It's black like your eyes.
What's it like?
What's it like?
Myrnwan is the city of two faces in many ways. There's the brightly lit mercantile capital with also a lot of crime and sin and debauchery. Its elven heritage is perhaps a little bit lower key than you would think, but a lot of the city structures are built by elves in the woods, but a lot of the leadership there is more interested in commerce and money and fabric and textile than much else.
That's why you like money so much.
It's definitely not a place where you would walk in the shadows at night. Peace, from what I've heard. I've never been. And this is Shae herself telling you that.
Did you walk at night?
Where are you
Around
normally
there?
from?
Oh, I grew up in Siltia many centuries ago.
I think you mentioned that before, actually.
It's a beautiful place.
Not everyone has a choice.
True. You don't choose where you're born or your family.
What are these ruins over here?
Which ones? Well, over the centuries, there have been several wreck sites that existed that no longer exist. That would be one of them. I believe it was one that was...
Yeah.
I believe it fell in battle between Icefall a long time ago.
I got a question. What's that?
The purple floaty tree.
Yeah, Void Reach, they call it. It's... Nobody really knows what it is. Nobody's really ever been there. But you can see it from the shores of the continent, particularly on days where the sandstorms aren't picked up. You can even see it from the land above Siltia, to be honest. Off in the distance, just a giant purple tree that glows at night.
Oh, beautiful.
People, they just sail by it?
Not many people sail, to be honest. Most of these scouting and mapping routes have been done by air, either by flying around. You generally try to avoid being out over the ocean too much. I believe Riovis is really the only people who manage to figure out a way to keep their ship safe from the...
So cool.
There's supposed to be massive sea beasts. There's also supposed to be storms and other natural disaster. Let's just say not many people go out into the ocean on the sea.
Did you make this? The map?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you're very
Did you travel all these places?
No.
How did
I
you?
based it off of some books and some other research things I've done.
Which of these places have you been to?
Siltia.
Siltia and
Yeah.
what else?
Siltia.
Well, now you're in the forest.
I had some reference. There were a few map makers back in Siltia, and then some of the books that I brought with me. Based a lot of this off of them. I've seen a lot of areas around Siltia. I've managed to do some scrying and flying around myself around that area.
Do you have any books on some of the wreck states?
And I can provide you with some information. I can see if I can find some books. I'd probably have some lying around.
Shae, relative to this map, where is North?
North.
North.
No.
No,
But like the
North.
a tower named North.
The place North.
N-O-R-F.
N-O-R, North.
North.
Say I've ever heard of any place like that.
Well,
I still believe it's a real place.
You should roll
Sure,
a maybe
maybe
you
you're
are
from here.
assisting you.
That kind of looks like it could be a place.
what does it say there? Fort
Celestia.
Celestia. But there wasn't a fort. It was
There's
just
another
a
fort on the
tower.
other side.
And Fort.
Fort Celestia and Fort Bator. Those are a couple of... Well, let's just say Eldernor, that land is not the best place on this continent.
Well, my place was great, so.
And Diomark, the last bastion of the Holy Orders in potentially this continent, they've set up a couple of forts on there. Fort Celestia, named after the divine plane of good, Mount Celestia.
No, I've never heard of it.
And Fort Bator, named after the divine plane of the Nine Hells, Bator.
Is it Mount Celestia where Ezekiel went? Sorry,
Mount
not-
Celestia.
Who's
Yeah.
Ezekiel?
Another time, perhaps.
You've probably mentioned him.
Probably not.
You might not have noticed, but I'm a Loxodon. Do you know where they happen to come from? I don't think I'm actually from Schema, although I grew up
Met
there.
a few more of your nine.
Oh, there's more.
Yes, there's several nomadic tribes that tend to roam the lands. I
Oh,
believe some tend to visit Silthia for trade, actually.
do they have their own Rexate?
I don't think so. There's several different nomadic tribes and groups that don't live in such large permanent settlements, so to speak. Tend to roam the lands.
Is there a mailman?
Ooh, yeah, me too.
I need to send a letter. Can you help?
There's magical means of sending messages, yes, but I don't know if I can. Most of them are restricted by how long of a message it is.
I have a letter, and I pull out a piece of paper. Got to send it to my brother.
Me too, actually.
Let me see what I can do. I don't think I can. Whatever it is, I probably won't be able to do it today. I'll have to wait until tomorrow night. But I can take a look.
I feel like I'm from somewhere around this area because I've had those visions of the tower being underneath the tree, so maybe the tower is somewhere near the tree. I say out loud for Shae to hear.
I like this part. It's green.
I like this part, it's purple.
I like that part is white and blue.
The part you're from? Yeah.
A little biased, I guess.
She just tilts her head quickly, paying attention, but not interrupting. While she ponders ways to send the messages.
Calthea, did you say where you're from?
I'm not really from anywhere.
Here we go.
He keeps saying that, but that's a really stupid thing
You
to
ask
say.
him where
Where-
he's from, and he's like, where I came from, where I've been.
Where did you grow up for the first 50 to 100 years of your life?
I don't really remember that far back.
But you remember
How
everything.
old are you?
No. Sorry?
How old are you?
I don't know my exact age.
How many have you counted so far?
Decades, I guess.
What's your oldest memory, if you don't mind me asking?
Wandering around in the forest, I think.
Was this during like your rebellious teenage years?
No, my teenage years were many years ago, I think.
Was this just before meeting Tom and Astra?
Shortly before, yes.
Inside check.
Sure. I guess I have to roll.
Interesting.
Did you roll well?
24.
Oh, you rolled real well. I'm not being entirely honest.
I knew it.
Do you
Eyes just
remember
narrow.
all of us?
Yeah, but listen to the question clearly. Point on the map where you're from.
Timon, you can tell that while she was sort of interested in what Astra had to say, this line of conversation she is very intently listening to.
Because
Because of your passive
he's
perception.
Karis.
And Calthea, you can also tell that
Because of my hat.
because of your passive perception.
Are we... How long have we been here? Because we got here in the
It
afternoon or
was
something?
shortly after sunset, so you've been here for probably around 3 or 4 hours.
And how many hours did we have connected? Because right before we got here, we connected.
We'll let him check his
Because
notes.
we were... Yeah. Because we were... Would we still be connected?
I would say it's probably about to wear off, but I think you would have it for now.
In your head, you hear, tell Timon to drop this right now. Let's not talk about it in front of Shae.
Timon, where were you from again here?
You having memory issues too? He doesn't remember. He was just saying he likes
well, I'm
the
saying that, but
color.
also I'm gonna message
But Astra,
Timon. Calthea's requesting that we continue this conversation another time away from Shae, if that's alright.
Alright.
Y'all-
Still asking that question, but you, so changing the subject here.
Y'all are having memory issues. He doesn't know where he's from. You don't remember that he just said he liked the blue and the white of
But I
where
mean,
he's
Icefall's
from.
blue and white as well.
This is
Yeah.
a big map.
Man, the Kazmak state is a big mountain range, and I mean, I never wandered too far. I was always, around here and close to the Northwind Pass for hunting and such, but it goes way far north.
So did you go through, what is that part to the west of it? The ruined valley?
No,
he
we
came down the north.
we
He
went
came
down
like
south.
this.
Oh, that's how you guys went there.
Yeah, came down like
And
almost
then-
straight south here, and then west.
Actually, for you from Cornwall, it actually would have been safer to be going along this mountain, the west side of the mountains, through the Ruined Valley, and then afterwards meeting there. Because Northwind Pass, that's where a lot of the stuff with your sister happened, and it's much more dangerous in those mountains than it would be just outside. So you were traveling south along the Ruined Valley. You didn't cut straight across the Ruined Valley because of the lightning storms and how dangerous that area itself is. So you were comfortable enough in the mountains to be like, we can just duck in, hide, like stay safe. And that's the safest route to travel down. So
Karana knew the safest route, so I was just accompanying. But it's when you look at it, it's odd, right? It was almost like we were meant to head south, and then over here we're like, oh no, we're going there. I wonder what happened.
It is an odd coincidence.
Griffey, do I have a rough idea of which way I was walking from?
I mean, you were walking south.
Originally?
You were walking towards the woods originally.
I was walking south towards the woods.
Yep.
Okay, so I was up here. So I was north. Okay, so north is somewhere north. Okay.
When we figure out where the Tower of North is, I'm writing it on the map.
The Tower of North is everywhere.
Actually, there is one interesting point of order. On the map, the central lake, Lake Linwanham, is circled. Like there is a red circle built around it. Like
Don't touch it.
But it's not authentic then.
No.
Why is this lake circled? I just noticed.
Don't do it.
you
Don't do
dare.
it.
That's
Put
not
that
red.
marker away. No.
I believe that's where my
Authenticity.
sire
I will
is
murder you.
But what if I get a
undertaking
really
some
nice red pen and make it
operations?
authentic?
That's where my sire's
On the other one.
points
he's
of
printing
interest
more.
have been.
Karis?
You believe he is there currently?
I believe that's where he's from. And I believe that's what he's been most interested in.
So what was the first part? Where your sire's from?
Yes, the spot that I've circled. I believe that's where his interests lie.
Lake, what's it called?
Venom.
Do you like Linbanum things?
Kind of. Being from Sothia, I don't know how often you've made the trek between there and here, but do you have any recommendations for how to best traverse
For food.
there? Any food recommendations? Any spots to hit?
I would recommend just trying to take as straight and narrow of a line as possible, particularly through the desert. But try to spend as less time as possible in the desert. The sandstorms there can get quite vicious. Try to avoid, if you ever think you're getting into an area that is a little bit too desolate and too empty, where the ground begins to turn into sand, perhaps avoid to start off with. That would be
So-
my suggestion.
Go through the desert but avoid the sand? Is that what you're saying?
Try to spend as little time as possible in the desert, especially.
Yes, the old man told us to go as far in through the plains as possible, then cut in. So probably somewhere here, then cut across.
But there are genuinely giant worms and other creatures that make the desert their home.
So question, this is the second person that's told us that this place is extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Do you have any defenses or any potions or anything that'll help with our journey? I feel like, I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I feel like we got this many days, weeks left.
It took us days to get like.
Yeah, that's why I said weeks.
Yeah.
Make a persuasion check on it.
Just only another year older.
Leave it to the 4 dice. 20. Dirty.
I don't personally have any need for potions or any of that sort, so I haven't had many, but I might be able to dig through the supplies and see if there's anything, maybe not a healing potion per se, but just something else just
If
lying
you ever
around.
played Baldur's Gate 3, you could make potions out of vampire blood. Just a random game my dad and I used to
Hey,
play.
we have lots of that here.
I have heard that you can do that.
I wouldn't know. That thing
I would not recommend it, but
It explodes.
You actually what was it? The stone you gave us?
The arrowhead thing.
No, the arrowhead was how to get here, right? Or is it both?
it's both.
I think it's
Oh, it's both.
The stone does both.
Does it prevent us? I forget. Does it prevent us from being scryed upon, or just listened in on?
Listened in on.
So they would
they'll
know.
be able to see what you're seeing, but not
So
hear what you're saying.
you mentioned your sire has a particular interest in us now, and you think he may be operating in or around Lake Linvonum, which is right where we have to pass by.
Oh, he circled that when he was last here, about 50 years ago.
Oh.
I haven't done that.
Okay. Should we avoid that
Put it
place?
down.
I have no idea.
You've never been?
I mean, I know that that's
Oh
where
my
he's
God.
from. He mentioned
Did he
that.
tell you what he was doing there?
I would cry.
Do I believe it?
Make a insight check.
What does she smell like?
Smells beautiful.
Can confirm.
23.
Ooh. Okay.
Whispers!
I'll send you a message.
Some good insight rolls.
That was a very good insight roll.
Wait, that's a natural one.
Perfect.
You're the worst. I can make it as like a little thing there.
Not now. What camera is going to do that?
No, like just put a picture. Like if you get the JPEG.
It's a very simple.
Maybe a break.
It's just.
If Rafe has it, he could send it.
For what? Oh, do you
We'll talk
want
about
the...
it, break.
Okay.
I mean, him being here and circling it, he must have mentioned something. Otherwise, why circle the map here and then leave the map?
He showed some interest in that area, and he mentioned that was where he was from, and that was where he was headed to next.
He mentioned he's from there.
Yeah. If he was, if I needed to reach out to him, it would be by potentially going there. Is what I assumed he meant. But again, this was many years ago. So. I just sent a message with the art on. I just sent a message with the art on Messenger, you guys, instead of looking all the way over here.
Oh.
But I want to look at the real thing.
Wait, this one doesn't have a red circle.
That's true.
None of this makes sense.
It all makes sense when you don't think about it.
You were mentioning something about tower and a tree.
Yeah, I'm from the tower,
Interesting.
and sometimes I've seen that tree with the tower underneath
That
it.
tree, the one in Void Reach.
The Void Reach, yeah. Yeah, what? It's not weird. Is that weird?
Huh.
These guys have seen the tree too.
That's news to me. I've never heard of anyone from there, or honestly anyone to have visited there at all. It's fascinating. You tell me more about your where you're from, your time going up there. What?
Oh, well, I'm from this tower up north in North. And it was just me and Hoku, and then the boy on the other side of the wall. He went missing. I'm trying to find him. He's being real weird. I can't reach out to him. Used to be able to talk to him now and then through, like, knocks because he doesn't talk. And he's deaf, I think. I'm not totally sure. So I'm looking for him. That's about it. Oh, yeah, time's kind of wibbly-wobbly in the tower. Sometimes I would wake up being... like baby, sometimes I would be old, sometimes I would be this age, and lately I've just kind of been this age, and I think that pretty much sums it all up.
Oh.
Oh boy. Last time you said names like that, we got...
I didn't say his name.
Fascinating. I guess you and I have a little bit in common then, if you spent your childhood growing up in this tower with a friend. I've spent the past few centuries living here with mine.
Oh, well that's nice. Do you like to read?
I do.
I guess I can see that because we're in your library.
Well, now you're in the studio.
Oh, okay.
Not in the library anymore, but...
Yeah, I think we have more in common than we thought. I mean, I don't do the whole, like, blood drinking thing.
I wish I didn't have to.
Yeah, a real pity.
You mentioned books. Have you... what was... any interesting books that you read?
I love Nancy Shrew.
Oh.
She solves mysteries.
I think
she
you mentioned that, and I don't think I've read that one yet.
Magnifying glass. Big one made me a magnifying glass, but when he became the other big one, the magnifying glass disappeared, so he's going to try to make me another one, I hope, at some point. But she's really cool. There's mysteries, and she finds clues, and then she solves the mysteries, and...
Oh, that reminds me of one of my favorite books, The Mysterious Masks.
Mysterious Masks?
Yeah. It's about a series of detectives who wear masks and solve crimes, and...
They wear masks and solve crimes?
Yes.
What? That sounds amazing.
I can go and find it, and if you'd like to borrow it or read it.
Yes, please.
I can... Yes, of course. What are the rest of you doing? Well, she's just enraptured. This goes on for a little while.
I was
They're
like,
just
can you
talking
also
about
get
books
a
and
book
things.
on Icefall?
Oh, I can certainly look for one. Icefall is a very secretive Brexite. They are definitely the military might of the entire continent.
Very intriguing.
Very strict with their rules in many ways. Very strict in enforcing them, making sure that people going in and out are tightly controlled. Don't know if I'll be able to find anything super specific, but I will take a look.
Is this the only place on the planet?
Huh?
Is this the whole world?
It's the only place that I know of.
As
I mentioned, there isn't much sailing of...
you know what I'm gonna ask.
The first sailing elephant.
Yes?
Arkmir has a really stupid question.
Is the planet flat?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's been hard to...
No.
It's been hard to travel much off of the planet or off of the continent.
It's flat.
So as far as we know, it's flat.
Sure. I'm pretty sure the only people who would be able to answer that question would be in Riovis. Their ships are the only ones who would have even been able to leave much of the vicinity of this land.
So there are people who sail.
Yes, there are ships in Riovis that have used some sort of
They have a ship.
trade secret something in order to be able to stay alive and safe in the ocean.
I mean, in Mernuin, it's a coastal city. Don't you guys sail?
Apparently not.
I want to go to
They
Denmark.
do, but they stay close to the shores. There are trade routes between Mernuin and Riovis in particular along the ocean. But just, you tend to stay within reach of land to be able to make emergency landfall if necessary.
That way we keep the gold safe.
Are there routes to Denmark?
It's Denmark.
Denmark?
Denmark? No, not really. The Great Chasm isn't so much just a river or something. It's much more than that.
What is it?
You could call it, well, a Great Chasm. The ocean there is quite deep. It's almost like the land was torn asunder in some great battle or something in the past.
God, she's happy for herself.
Where the angels live.
There was a battle some long time ago or something where the land was torn asunder. It's almost like these jagged, massive cliffs that separate Eldernor from the rest of the continent. Honestly, the fact that Demark even is on the other side of the chasm, I have to say I've never been there. There are a lot of tales about Demark because of the holy nature of the city. It's the city of the First, the city of the Father, the city of Solnavi. It's a lot of things. There are countless stories about it, but I don't know how many of them are true. The fact that it stands in defiance there, with all of its surrounding torn asunder and destroyed, some of those stories might be true.
Did anyone already ask about what the Blight Walk is? Or Blight Wall?
Oh, the Blight Wall used to be known as the Red Wall.
That's purple.
It separated. It was a peak, series of mountains, a mountain range of sorts that separated the desert and the lands south. There used to be a Rexate there. Some of the wall has been corrupted with strange dark magic and void energy. Strange scarred land. People tend to avoid it, but still maybe travel through it closer to the edge near the towering wilderness.
Does it spread?
Hasn't, as far as I know, but I haven't personally been out there, so.
You learned that from a book as well?
No, the Black Wall is close enough to Siltia that you can. I've flown near and seen it from a distance.
When you say flown near, do you mean on like a magical broom?
I mean, yes, a long time ago.
Where did you get one?
Oh, the Syncrophic Academy of Magic had a few that were available for lease for scouting missions and stuff. This was, again, several centuries ago. I have no idea what's happening there now,
So
but
you're saying there's a chance.
Give yourself a big
Before you became enough
Yeah.
pointy fang.
when I still had potential. Speaking of,
Were you a sorceress?
yes, one of the top of my class, actually. You could say more.
Don't
of
practice anymore?
I do.
Can you enchant things?
I can. Well, that usually takes some time, but I can. But regardless, it seems you all have a bunch of things to talk about. I would love to keep chatting, but I am starting to feel a bit peckish. I should go out for a hunt or something. I don't know if any of you are interested in joining me for said hunt, but I don't recommend it, particularly for your friend here, to be out in the night of the full moon. I have to admit, I'm personally rather excited for tonight. I love the night of the full moon. There's rather more animals about than usual. You can see her like lick her lips and smile.
Well, if you stayed here, though, we could have a little sleepover, and you could tell stories all about the mass.
If she stays here, she's going to eat you.
She is hungry, Astral.
I'll be back. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
Just go grab a bite to eat, and come back, and we'll have our sleepover.
I'll be back. Gregor, would you like to keep them company? And he's just standing there at the side, just staring at all of you. I can watch over them if needed. She looks back at you all. Huh. You know, Gregor, you haven't really had much exercise or fun recently. Perhaps you take them downstairs and have a good time.
You hear a zip.
To which Gregor says, "Is that a suggestion or an order?" And she says, she looks at you all and says, I mean, to be honest, that's up to all of you all. It's not.
I don't want to go to a sex dungeon.
I've never been in sex.
Yes, sir.
That's not quite what I meant.
Oh.
Okay, well, I'm keeping my clothes on. I don't care what Gregor wants to do, but my clothes are staying on.
Where's naked?
Wait.
Gregor hasn't had much practice recently.
Fight.
If you all would like to spar, it would be an interesting experience for probably
Sounds right
all
up
of
your
you.
alley.
Tag team.
I'm gonna go hunt. I'll be back in a few hours, probably.
Okay.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
She
Bye-bye.
takes a couple of steps out and leaves.
Stop it!
You all are just sitting here in this art studio. Gregor is just standing at the side. I'm going to go.
You want to join?
Do you want to spar?
Perhaps if you wish to have a chat first, then you can join me downstairs. I'll get things set up.
Perfect.
All right. How do I get there?
He points down the hall, go downstairs, and then take the other door. I'll leave it unlocked. And one of the doors that was locked before.
We'll be there.
I'll leave it unlocked, and you just go down. It's several flights of stairs down. It's quite deep.
Oh, it's like a dungeon cellar basement.
A workshop, you could say.
Well,
To be
whether-
fair, there was a workshop we went to that was very underground as well.
True.
Well,
Alright.
whether it was a sex dungeon or a fight club, I mean, I don't mind watching.
Would you?
I don't want to participate, but
I'm actually curious. Would you prefer me to fight armored or unarmored?
Is it 1v1 or is it can we tag team or
Oh, it's up to you all.
do you want to tag team?
I can hold back.
Yeah.
We'll tag team with full equipment.
Okay.
can we watch?
Sure.
He said you could fight all of us.
My trunk gets stiff when people watch.
So with full equipment? Very well.
Maybe half equipment. I'm scared.
Nothing.
I mean-
nothing lethal.
Just don't kill me
Nothing
again.
lethal.
Yes, I would not deem to. My mistress promised that no harm would come to anyone in this estate.
Cool.
Know for sure that this is consensual. Nobody's forcing you to do anything that you would not want to.
Henry Crackman.
I would like to know if there is any form of subterfuge in this. If
Make an
they're trying
insight
to
check.
lure us, or there is like some veiled intent here. Oh boy. 14.
No veiled intent. The only thing you make out is that he doesn't actually want to do this. It's like pretty obvious that he doesn't want to do
Is
this.
this an order? I hate getting the shit beat out.
She's almost using him as entertainment for you all for the night.
Aw.
Perfect.
Very well,
Okay,
I'm going to
down
head
in a bit.
downstairs, and
And a bit.
he steps out and leaves you all
What,
alone.
what are you from, Gregor?
Oh, I'm from Sylvia, a group of roaming nomads. We tend to wander around the Dead Man's Rapids and the Towering Wilderness. It's originally my tribe, but I left my tribe behind a long time ago. Went to Sylvia hunting for work, and
What's
That's-
your tribe's name?
the
That looks
question.
like an elephant trunk.
That's a very good
Where my
question.
dad's from.
That's a penis.
That is famous.
It's the.
Love maps.
I don't know.
I like the map.
The Frosthorn tribe. No, that doesn't make sense. It's not a cold area.
That's the irony behind it.
The Deadwood tribe.
The Dusters.
No.
Oh. But they made their
Or you can call us almost like the Deadwood clan.
Deadwood what? Clan.
Oh, is it a clan like the dwarven clans?
I guess I don't know many Dwarven clans.
Oh, from Cornhole, our
Oh,
society is all divided in clans.
are you from Cornwall?
Cornhole is named after House Corn, which is the clan of Samson the Mighty.
He killed dragons.
He killed the dragons.
I know that name.
Good to know.
He erased all dragons.
Had you heard about Samson the Mighty?
No, I don't think I have.
I believe you. He's real.
You should save the story for our sleepover tonight.
Alright. One last question.
Yeah.
Had you ever run into like elephant folk before?
Oh yes, several. In fact, there's some that are part of the Deadwood clan. Actually,
Did you hear of a elephant man who left his son at Schema?
don't think so.
Damn.
Are they common like in Schema and around the desert and
There's a few in Sylvia and in the woods and the deserts. There's a couple of tribes that definitely travel and frequently visit Sylvia, but I've never really considered it to be anything out of the ordinary.
were you friends with elephant folk? With anybody?
There was one in the Deadwood clan that I knew, but I don't know if he's still around. His name was Brotog.
Brotog?
Brotog.
His nickname was the bigger one.
How do you spell that?
Brutagh.
T-A...
GH.
He was in Sylvia or in the dead?
He was in the Deadwood clan. I don't know where he is or whether he's alive now or not. It's been... That name is one from a long time ago.
Interesting. Oh, it's good to know there's other folk like me out there.
There usually
I
are.
was the
This
only one.
land is vast and full of all sorts of people.
Seems big.
Hey, I'm going to head downstairs.
Okay.
Turns around and leaves you all alone in this chamber.
You seem really motivated to fight. You seem like really
It seems like he doesn't want to.
Seems like your place is fake.
What?
North, I didn't see it on a map. You told me
Well,
on the
can you-
walk here that you were from a place called North,
Yeah, I
but
am.
there's no North.
Well, maybe it's just so secluded that she just didn't know about it.
Possibly. I'll write it on the map next time we find it.
Stop trying to write things on the map.
That's what a map's for. It's used in weather.
Was it close to Cornhole? Because if you were coming like south from there, like north of there is Cornhole.
I was coming from the north to the south, and I traveled through some areas that were big.
You were walking south. You
was
were
walking
walking
south.
across a field of rolling hills south towards the
Does
tree
Cornwall
line.
have any rolling
That's where
hills?
they met you.
No, there's mountains.
Oh, so I only walked through rolling hills.
That's what was I mean,
Inside check.
you also walked through rolling hills after going through the mountain range, where the mountain range
did you
peters
walk through
out.
mountains
No,
at all? No mountain.
Nope.
no.
Inside check.
I don't know what to roll.
Either persuasion or deception.
18.
So, well, I'm real. Okay, I rolled real shit, but I'm being truthful.
All right. What strange fellow I travel with.
I need to look closer at this.
Can I take a look to see if there's anything in this room that makes it unsafe for chatting? Like, I don't know, like any way where people could be listening in or anything
Make
like
a
that?
perception check.
I'm just casting Psychic Whispers.
Okay.
Yeah, second one. So, be good for 4 hours.
And everybody but me.
As long as you know.
I know.
It's gonna message Calthier, but
9.
Right?
now
Perfectly
that
safe.
Calthier, now that Shae and Gregor are gone, it's just in the head. Why did you not want to talk about that in front of Shae?
I didn't want to lead on anything that I know, given this individual. We don't know her that well, and her sire, her master, not entirely sure how strong their relationship still is, has apparently a keen interest in us, and from what I've noticed, that may be focused somewhat on me. So I'm not entirely forthcoming with too much information. I think I got the impression that Tymond was not entirely believing everything I was saying, and I didn't want him to pry in front of her.
Got it. Would you like me at least we're gonna have to relay that as maybe this is something we can continue later?
Sure.
If you're comfortable.
Yeah, you can tell him.
Regarding the earlier discussion with Calthier, it seems like, again, maybe some concerns regarding Shae, but more importantly, Shae's sire. So, I think in general, maybe until we're out of here, look to see if Calthier would like to resume that discussion or not.
All right. All I ask is...
Am I just hearing this in the head? Alright.
all I ask is if it was... you only remember like a short time before meeting us, and I didn't say anything. I don't know where he got the impression that I didn't believe him.
Didn't you make an insight check?
Yeah, I did.
I think perception is.
I'm gonna take it by all your silence that we're ready to go fight.
We're all just giggling.
What's this room like?
It's an art studio. There's canvases all around. There's like a small desk on the side that has a candle and like a quill. The candle's not lit, but there's a quill dipped in pen, just a bunch of paper scattered everywhere. There's papers rolled up, paper balls all around you. There's a bunch of canvases.
Any nudes?
You can investigation check.
I'll bring over the book. It was like yellow something or whatever. I'll bring that over to
I
Astra.
don't remember.
14.
You do find some artistic drawings that are rather sensual in
I
nature.
don't think I wrote down the one that she was reading.
Oh, damn it.
Tasteful.
Very tastefully done.
What? You found news?
Yeah, there's
Gregor?
all sorts of really bad writing, and the art as well. Like, there's certain art that is very, very well done, and then there's certain art that's just not good.
Can we discern if it's from two different people?
Make an investigation check.
Can I too?
Sure.
20. Dirty 20.
Timon, you're not able to tell much, but Astra, you're able to tell almost immediately that some of these weren't drawn with like a paint or paintbrush. There might have been some
it's
magic,
like Journey or something.
some magic assisted.
AI.
There was some rather accentuated use of magic in arcane art to be able to draw something this well. And to be honest, you can probably tell something similar with the map that you use.
David, you beat me to it. I was gonna say, wasn't already used on this map.
There's several, like, the telltale marks of brushstrokes that you are used to seeing on many of the other works. Like, it's clear that this is someone who's been, over the years, learning to replicate what they've been able to do magically very easily.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna kind of sit down and read some of the pages.
Well, we're just before we leave downstairs. You guys don't believe them, do you?
Oh,
What they said about there being other elephant folk. Like, that's not true, right?
why not?
Oh, well,
It didn't come from an egg.
No, but Mr. Sparkeye said
Okay.
there was nobody else. He assured me that there was no other elephant folk.
In schema.
I asked him about other places, and he just said no.
Well,
We
why are
should
you
ask-
asking?
Oh, I just started to wonder. I mean, like you said, it's not like I came from an egg, but I know that those folks in Schema aren't my real family. Just curious, that's all.
I think you should ask our Sparkeye.
It
He's-
seems like a very lovely man.
Yours kind of sounds like a douche. So
It's a douche.
Our Sparkeye, he may be a little bit more forthcoming with information.
Can we send a message to our stock?
Can we send a message to our Sparkeye? Oh,
But
then
he
we're gonna
doesn't
have
know
to
that
tell
I'm not
him.
his.
You don't have to tell him any.
We could just be like, "Hey, Sparkeye, just wondering, are there other Loxodons? Bye. Let us know."
That's really. Can you do that? That's great. We should use that a lot more often. Why are you looking at Calther?
What? What?
Can
Sorry?
you do your Sunday message thing?
You seem distant, friend. Is everything alright?
Yeah,
No, he's
sorry.
always like that.
Yeah, it's just in my head. What was...
Calther,
the
did
same
you get
with
new
me.
glasses?
Oh, these?
We were talking about Big One. You know, like his Spark
Oh,
Guy.
it's okay. We
He
don't have
sucks.
to.
No. He sucks. Our Spark Guy, he's wonderful. He's wondering if there's other Loxodons because his Spark Guy said that no, there aren't any others, but we're wondering maybe there are because she was just saying that there's that Brew Talk guy. Anyways, can you send Spark Guy a message and say, "Hey, Spark Guy, just wondering, are there any other Loxodons?" Bye.
You don't have to. It's okay.
Perhaps we save that for another time. I'd rather not expend any unnecessary magic right now.
Oh, that's fine.
Should we go downstairs? I'd hate to keep Gregor waiting.
I'm gonna collect some of these papers and read through her writings
So,
and take with us.
before we go, what's our plan? Are we just going to spend the night and then get the fuck out in the morning, or?
I mean, they mentioned that we're safe within the confines of this estate, or whatever you want to call it, but if others would feel safe, I can still, within this building, I can create the dome.
If we do my rope trick, that lasts very
If,
short.
if others would feel more, if you would feel safer in that rather than
Like an hour.
sleeping here,
It's be like a bunk bed.
I think we probably still want to do a watch.
Definitely.
I don't trust anything about this place. I feel like she's going to come back and try to kill us.
I kind of want to become a vampire elephant. She mentioned it, and it was kind of cool.
I think it's wise for us not to trust anyone right now. We can give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. I mean, if they wanted to attack us, we're inside their home already, but
Yeah, but
I
we
mean,
have
they
to-
haven't-
I mean, they just invited us to attack him.
So we're killing Gregor,
I
right?
feel like, oh, I don't know
Hold
about
on.
that. But
Well,
it seems like they are just happy to have company.
He doesn't want to fight. So, I wonder.
Do you want to fight me?
I would love to, but not tonight.
Oh,
I don't know if he doesn't want to fight because
it sounded more
he
like an
doesn't
order,
want to
didn't
fight, or if he just doesn't want to show what he can do. So that's why I kind of want to go brawl with him. I want to see what he can do.
Try and get it out of him?
Maybe. I don't want to die in the process.
He did say something about holding back.
Does he kind of... I get the impression he seems a little bit like a watchdog for her.
Frankenstein, a little bit.
Like a little bit manipulated and controlled.
I tried to get a read on that while we've been here.
Do you think he drew these? I hold up the nudes.
What the?
100%.
They're tasteful.
Did you just put it in your pocket?
I went to put it back, but I'm going to put it in my pocket now. Yeah.
I didn't get the sense
Save
that
this
he
for
is
later.
acting in a way that is not in his control, but I mean, the fact that he asked about an order is a bit
That's the part
interesting.
that was weird.
I was gonna say that he was wearing a butler outfit.
Maybe he likes it.
She stinks
Probably not.
when he's out of line.
Something is definitely amiss between the two of them. That's for sure. We know they didn't get along in the past.
Well, maybe she doesn't have psychic control of him, but she has leverage on him.
Perhaps she knows some dirty secrets.
Or she's holding somebody from his
Oh.
family or something like that.
True. She seems pretty lovely.
Maybe we should ask Gregor what he really wants. Because if he doesn't want to fight, then maybe we just...
Arm wrestle.
Yeah, we arm wrestle, we play rock...
Metal arm.
What is it? Boulder, parchment, shears.
Cheers, party.
Maybe you just need to give
Yeah.
him a sock.
Wait a minute. What?
To free him.
Oh, I went a different route. You went the Dobby route.
You give him the picture. We'll get him a sock.
Knock on the door.
You said he needed to be freed. I was like, sock makes sense. You're talking about a house elf. I get it.
You all head out of you head out of the studio and head downstairs, and you very easily find like the door that was previously locked. You can almost feel like a cold chill wind coming from this door. The stairs here are made of stone. There have like candles have been lit on the side in like small little nooks and alcoves here. As you begin to head downstairs,
Every time.
the stairs are winding. Perhaps not in a clear circle, but they seem like they've been built with intent. They're not natural. A short while later, you arrive at the base of the staircase, and in front of you, there's a small hallway that opens out into a large, fairly large cavern. This cavern also seems to have been built. It seems to have been hollowed out of sorts. And you can see from here.
Is there like
candles have been lit.
masonry on the walls and stonework? Or?
Yes, stonework, bricks. It's been
Does-
built. This large underground chamber has kind of been built here.
Does it look like anything that I've seen before? Maybe in Cornhole or a schema?
You haven't seen any construction like this before. It's not at all like Cornhall. In Schema, there's a few constructions that have like slightly similar ways that they were built and put together, but you've never seen like recessed sort of like alcoves used for like lights and candles. You've never seen a room this large with almost like a gabled like ceiling. It looks almost like a cathedral of sorts that you can like look up into. You notice here a large open, essentially floor that's been set up. It looks almost like a sort of arena of sorts. On both sides, there's a couple of desks and tables that are kind of scattered with a bunch of lab equipment, some test tubes. Workstation has been set up. Hanging on some of the walls on both of the sides, there's an array of weapons. There's swords, hammers, axes, spears, mostly larger two-handed weapons. There aren't that many single blades or short daggers or anything like
Do
that.
I recognize any of the steel work?
Make a quick perception check because you are just entering into this room. You're not taking time to look into all of these. There's a lot of them, and despite the candles that have been lit, this room is still very dark. These candles seem to have been lit primarily for you all's needs. It doesn't seem like they're normally lit very much.
It's so bright.
Do we get the sense that the lab equipment is for making potions for combat?
You have no idea. At the far end of the chamber, and there's a few smaller tunnels and like doors that lead out of this room, but at the far end your eyes are immediately drawn to a large on the wall up above there's a rather larger than human size or normal size, probably 3 times as large shield that's hanging on the wall. There's a few. It looks almost like a coat of arms of sorts.
Cool.
What does it look like?
The coat of arms.
It's strangely enough to some of you, it is almost immediately recognizable. There's a field below that's green, and on above the upper half of the logo of Linmari that you have seen on Kalthir's spear. It's not one of those, but it is rather similar to Diamark. There is, instead of the city, there is forest. And above the forest, there is the symbol of Linmari. Hanging behind it, there's 2 large, ornate, almost like glaives of spears or swords.
These are
like
weaponries. This is decoration, right?
This is decoration.
Okay.
I mean, there are weapons as well, but these are clearly
this
decoration.
thing is like a...
It's like a coat of arms.
So it's like
Gotcha.
a moon over a forest?
It's the logo of Linmari, which is like a moon
Yeah.
on top of a forest with like a green field underneath it. If you look at the logo on
Yeah, I see
Denmark,
it.
it's instead of the city, it's a forest.
Yep.
And instead of the symbol,
Sun.
the sun, it is the goddess of the.
They're like opposites.
At the base of this, you immediately pick up the smell of blood in the air. And as you look around, all of you, you can see bloodstains on the floor. It's clear that there's been some prior fights that have happened here.
Looks old though.
Oh,
Yes.
this place has seen some battle.
Bloodshed?
Lots.
And you can smell fresh blood on the air.
Fresh.
You can see from here, like, you can't make out past him. You can make out Gregor just sitting on the ground, kneeling, looking away from you. In front of him, you can see just past him, there's almost like a little basin or altar of sorts.
Is it filled with blood?
I was just gonna say...
You can't see from here.
Does it look like he's praying
He looks like he's meditative.
or meditating?
As I say, does it look like he's feeding?
You can also see he's not
Does
wearing
he have a
his.
sock?
You can see he's not wearing his butler armor
is he just
anymore.
yoked?
He's he's wearing the heavy armor that you saw
Oh.
her wearing
That Shae was
the
wearing.
day before.
I knew it. Motherfucker.
It's this intricately carved dark black metal and leather pads.
Vocon is it?
Very ornate.
Yeah. Somewhere
You
right
can
now
see
he's
that like he is. And not only is he jacked, it fits him perfect.
Perfect.
like, it was his.
Oh.
Ah, you're here. And he
Yes.
stands up, and you can see him pick up off the ground a spear of sorts, a glaive that's about
Yeah.
a little under him in height, very long. It looks a lot like Kalthir's glaive. All of you can notice it. The symbol of the moon, the similar curvature to the blade, very similar.
Oh, the glaive. Is that your weapon of choice?
It is.
Also, we've talked about it. We don't need to fight if you don't want to, or you're not up for it.
Arthur's in the background.
I'm perfectly fine.
You can tell that as he turns around and looks at you both, he's he looks a bit different. He looks like he's steeled his resolve a little bit more. He's holding this glaive at his side.
You're still okay with the terms? 2v1
Make an
if we win,
insight
I
check.
get your armor and your glaive?
Can I make one as well?
Sure. What are you looking for, particularly?
I'm trying to get a sense of if he he actually like now wants to fight, and if there's anything particularly like, is
drink
he
something or
no? Is he looking for fighting? Is he looking at me at all? Is he like trying to get my attention?
I rolled a 19 natural.
Okay.
No plus bonus.
18 for me.
He's definitely more intent and focused now.
Okay.
You can feel the sort of energy coming from someone who's ready for a fight.
You ready for this?
Like, he wasn't before, but I think now he is.
30-20.
He's not looking at you at all. He does not care.
You're still okay with the 2v1,
I think so.
and I get your armor if I win.
Oh, no.
We're doing this pink slip slap.
Yeah.
Though, if you would like the slave, it's not mine, so you can have that.
Wait, you take that from Kelthy?
No, this,
Oh, sorry, it looks very similar. That's weird.
there's many weapons here from...
Oh, so his
The
his
previous
isn't
owners.
special at all. It's just basic.
Mind if I take a look through the weapons?
I'll join him.
You guys can go off and get that.
Like skipping over there. I also want to take a quick look at the altars that are passing by. Just like
The altar's behind him.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm walking, but I'm.
Okay. You're not
not
interested in the
fighting.
fight at all? Okay, so you're just walking around this
The
ring.
Bash Brothers can have their fun.
yeah. I'm,
I suddenly have to pee. I'm scared.
I think that's probably actually a good time
Oh,
to take a
shit.
break, and then we'll come back and roll
Oh,
initiative.
shit.
I won't have a map for this, but we won't need one.
That's fine.
Highland takes.
He basically
Highland
just confirmed he's
actually
gonna one
flips
shot
it.
us.
There's just
That's
going to be
fine,
3 minis standing beside each other.
Yeah.
Fight Club.
Alright,
do this.
we'll be back.
Bye.
For a second.
And we're back. So, in this underground cavern, workshop, arena, blood altar, strange room chamber.
Oh, so there is
you're
a
in.
blood altar.
Oh, as you walk past the altar, you very clearly see there's
We didn't
a pool of blood
Yeah.
within it.
I'm gonna make him drink his own blood.
Why don't the people who are involved in the fight and anybody else who would like to interfere in that fight roll initiative?
I need healing already.
I'm gonna find a spot to sit and flip through the pages while watching.
I'm gonna. Oh no. What if I want to interfere later?
You should roll initiative right now, and then we'll go in that initiative order in the
Fine,
round
I'll
as
just
you would
roll
like to
anyways, just
interfere.
so I'm in the- oh, yeah, I get advantage now.
Ooh, you have advantage on this?
On initiative?
Yep.
What? Goddamn.
Can I do that too then? Because I don't want to fight, but maybe I want to jump in and do
have
stuff later.
Advantage.
I do. Oh, that's
So do I.
That'd be helpful. Oh my
Even if I got a
God.
natural 20, it's not
Oh
great.
my God.
25 to 20.
Definitely not.
20 to 15.
Nope.
15 to 10.
11.
Okay.
10.
Wait, out of everybody, I was the highest?
Wait, sorry, what did you say? 15 to 10?
Yes.
Oh, 11. Oh, okay.
You
We
probably
tied,
have more
so
dexterity.
You
so-
would technically go first, but
Oh, I'm first over. Oh.
I mean,
both
you're
got
not
11.
acting in the round, and just you're not doing anything in that
you got
round.
10.
Yeah.
10 to 5.
7.
7.
Who has more dexterity between the two?
8.
I have more.
Yeah. So time and and then wherever Big Boy goes.
Interesting. Very interesting. That's not what I expected.
Good. Make him make the first move. Unless he one-shots both of us. just cleave.
Skewers both of you.
Just like, what's your hit point total? Oh, you're both dead. Like dead.
Wouldn't be the first. It honestly would not be the first time.
250.
You see him while staring at you take his hand and like touch his chest, and you can see almost like crystals of ice and frigid, like the moisture in this cavern freezes on him,
Yeah.
and he disappears.
Oh?
Is this Calder?
Never heard you made that noise, Kelsey.
Arkmir, I'm assuming you're not doing anything.
Wouldn't that be funny? Dusty disappearance.
Big one. What are you doing?
Okay, how big is this room?
It's probably about 40 feet by 40 feet, roughly.
40 feet by 40 feet, and he was directly in front?
Yes.
Did we hear anything?
Make a perception check. Actually, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 13. He is in armor, so...
He is in armor. That is correct. You did not hear him.
Everybody sneaky.
Did not
Can
hear him.
I roll for
What's your passive perception?
15?
Did not hear. It's not a roll. It's like a passive thing. Okay. You can make and you can use your action to try and discern where he is.
No.
But
Okay. That is interesting. In that case... I have so many things down. I will manifest my echo at 20 feet to my right.
okay.
And then I will just teleport to it. So I'll swap spaces with it. So I'll like summon it over there, you'll see the shimmer, and then I will teleport with it for my turn. And that's it.
Okay.
So it looked like something spawned, and then I just switched.
Yeah. Simon. Or well, Calter
I-
don't want to do anything.
Actually, can I quickly retcon that? I'm not going to teleport. I'm going to hold Fairy Fire in case he shows. Is that possible? It's an action.
That's an action, right?
Yep. And Manifest Echo is only a
Bonus action?
bonus action.
Okay. No.
So I will hold Fairy Fire in case he shows himself.
How big's the area that you guys
About
are?
40 by 40.
Yeah. It's a little bit.
He was at like one end of it. And you guys were at the other end, roughly.
I'm going to use a check to see what weapons I see as I'm walking by.
Make an investigation check.
I'm also gonna investigate with him.
Yeah.
Active investigation check.
Oh! I haven't rolled one in a while. So.
25.
Ooh.
27.
There's a lot of varied weapons and almost a collection of like exotic weapons. Not like your normal spears and swords. There's like strange dual-bladed glaives. There's like a large, like heavy-bladed greatsword. Almost like a sword that's made out of like a strange blackish metal that you're not familiar with. Actually, no, you would be familiar with the blackish blue metal from Ryova's. It seems like an odd collection of different weapons from around like Rivenacht.
Specifically,
Yes.
are there any other that have craftsmanship styling similar to my glaive and the one that I saw him holding? Any other weaponry there that looks similar?
One of the two glaives that are behind the coat of arms It's massive. It's larger than
Oh,
would
like,
be
the one
normally.
that's
Yeah,
high.
it's massive and larger than one that would be normally used in battle.
Okay.
It looks less like a glaive and more like a lance, and it looks identical to what the figure on the mounted like horse in the painting was.
Right.
What was it?
It's like this jagged black metal spear with almost like a banner that's like trailing from the head. That's like purple and silver.
The one that's up there, like you said, it's really big. Is in it's decorative and it's like it is larger, or like that theoretically could be the one that was in.
You thought originally that it was decorative because of how big it is, but with your investigation check, you can tell that no, that actually is a lance. It's meant for mounted combat, and it is the exact same weapon.
Okay.
Well, it's designed for mounted combat, right? Like
Yeah.
originally, you were thinking about looking at it as like a weapon, like a spear.
Horsemanship.
Yes.
The Rioviz weapon, or like the weapon that was like black, blue. What type is it?
It's almost like a cutlass of sorts with like a very thick, rounded like blade, like a scimitar of sorts. It's not the entire blade that's made of that metal. Like you've seen, like the Midnight Longsword that you had taken from Galen's corpse. Same metal, but it's more like the edge is made of it.
Okay.
And it's honed very sharp. Which is strange because what you notice from a lot of these weapons is that they're not well maintained. A lot of them are like old, rusted. They're not super well oiled and well kept. And this sword in particular, the blade is immaculate. Sorry, the edge of the blade is immaculate. The rest of the blade seems a little bit busted.
Gotcha.
Weary.
So that's what held up over time.
Yeah.
Are any of the weapons, are they fancy and like, are they ornate?
All of them look very interesting. You're not sure if any of them are magical per se, but they all look like they have something unique about them. It's not just a collection of like common weapons, for sure.
Okay. And like last one is just like, are any of them? I guess I would be particularly interested in like some of the daggers, but maybe also some of the ranged.
There
types.
aren't that many daggers.
Okay.
In fact, there are none that you immediately notice. But looking around, you do spot almost like buried away under like a couple of the larger weapons. There is a short sword. It's strange because it looks like a short sword in the hilt and the blade itself, but you just like check it a little bit, and the blade itself is very slim, and it actually seems like much shorter than the scabbard that it's made for. So it looks sort of like a dagger, but the scabbard and the rest of it looks kind of like a short sword. You're not quite sure. It catches your interest with like a 27 roll. Looking around, that's what you spot. Now that investigation is done, Timon, what do you know?
So just help me visualize the arena. Is it round or is it square?
It is, the entire room itself is square, but there is like a clearly marketed like circular arena.
There's
that's
a
about
circular arena.
it's about 40 feet.
Was he
From
at
end to
the center or at
He was
the
at the
edge?
far end, and you guys were at the front end.
And-
So you are, as of right now, you are about 40 feet apart.
Okay, and he was at by an altar. Is that altar inside the ring or
No,
outside?
that altar is outside. That altar is up against the wall just outside.
And I cannot see him and I cannot hear him.
No.
Okay, so here we go, and I'm gonna take off running, and
What the fuck?
I will hit my fist together and cast Giant Smite, so I will grow as I run. And then in the process, I will take my shield, take my hammer, and then I will run towards this exact center of the arena. And then I will stop there, and I will take the dodge action and say, "Show yourself!"
Pussy.
Okay.
And that's it. So I am in the center, like guarded.
Asher, are you doing anything?
Yes. I'm around the edge watching, and I'm going to stealthily reach into my bag and pull out the expired flower and throw some into the ring, hoping that you guys will see footsteps so you can tell where he is.
Why don't you just take the whole bag? Go.
Because I can't do that stealthily. I don't want to get pulled into the fight.
It's pretty genius. That's what Nancy
You
Shrew
sprinkle,
did.
you sprinkle the flour.
Well, I like.
He's like right in front of you.
I was saying you sprinkle it and it just coats him.
It's just like,
Yeah, just staring at you like, what the fuck?
Carry on.
The best part is you're probably 40 feet away from him. So you're like, guys, if he steps right here.
In the 1 foot corner
Yeah.
of this.
I
no,
got
but
you guys.
if you
It's like a
go
200-foot
through it,
arena.
You'll see the little footprint.
True. Hey, it's a strat. He's looking up how to kill you.
Are you looking up expired flour and how that works
No.
in D&D Beyond?
No.
It's his turn.
It
Turns
is
out
his
it's his
turn.
weakness.
Oh, I don't have to roll?
You're sprinkling flour.
Yeah, but I said
How do you fuck it up?
stealthily.
Big one.
Yes.
You feel the air behind you moving and shifting, and as you turn around, you just see him standing there, low to the ground, cutting up at you. You do get to cast Fairy Fire.
Yeah.
So,
Dex 15.
That
Probably
is
won't
a what
succeed.
save?
Dex 15.
Dex save.
He probably will pass.
Yeah, that's a 20.
He passes. So the whole area around him glows green, but not him.
Not him. And he's going to attack you
Mm-hmm.
with advantage
Oh boy.
because he was invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what have we got here? This is a. Does a 16 hit?
It's my armor class.
Okay. You take 5 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
Second attack. Does a 20 hit? Not natural.
No.
You take 12 points of slashing damage. He's gonna action surge. Second attack. That misses.
Okay.
Last attack. Does a 14? No, 14 misses, right?
Yeah.
So he misses with the action surge. He cuts and slashes at you, and then he looks past you at you, Timon. Huh. That's interesting.
Because you got him.
That's his turn. So, Arkmir, are you doing anything?
I think I'm still just like I was browsing by the weapons.
So,
and
one thing of to be important with, he is more than 5 feet away from you.
Okay, that's fine.
And also, he does get a bonus attack for Polar Master, which I forgot, which he rolled a natural one on. So, that's good. Now you can go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I wonder if he has a bunch of different ones, though. He might have a few different
OP
feats.
fighter build. Polar Master is OP.
it's gonna sling my hurdy-gurdy around. One little like good crank. Unless some jazz, like some battle music here, but underneath. Yeah. Who's Tonka? And underneath all of that, there'll be Timon will get a bardic inspiration.
That's a D6 or
Yes.
it depends what your bard level is.
Let me check my.
Because it starts low and then it keeps going.
Yeah, it's a
down.
D6.
Yeah.
So you can add that to ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, and you can do it after seeing your roll, but before the outcome is known.
Oh, okay.
I'm blowing my load.
Sorry, Arkmir, you were playing the Bardic Inspiration.
Yep.
That's the big one.
Okay, so I'll start by it says no action required, so I'm just going to mentally command my Echo to come behind him.
Something like that.
So that's the first thing I'll do. Second thing is I'm going to cast Heat Metal on him. on his chest plate.
Oh, this seems familiar.
He still got it, baby. So there is no save, it's just a concentration. He is going to take 2d8 right off the rip. I'm assuming it's metal, or part of it is metal.
It is metal.
Okay, so 2d8. 10 points of fire damage to start.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. Then I'm going to action surge. There's too many things. Where's action surge? I'm gonna action surge and unleash incarnation, and I'm going to swing at him 3 times.
Okay.
Twice by me, once by the echo. I don't think that's gonna hit him. I mean, it's pretty big. 14. Probably misses.
Misses.
Second one. 21.
Hits.
23.
Hits.
So 2 of them hit. Let me just roll the question quickly, 1 sec.
That's
Linvari?
that's Linvari's symbol
Yeah.
for people who don't know exactly what it looks like. Looks like that.
Okay. I'm going to spend a charge point, but not for damage, so... Okay, the first one is 11 damage,
Okay.
and the second one was 8 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use a charge point to give myself energy bulwark for +2 to AC.
Okay.
And
What was that last one?
I'm spending a charge point to give myself +2 AC. And that's this turn. So some fire damage, some damage, and buff myself.
Very nice.
He missed on a couple and that still hurt. That's all I got. That's my turn.
That would be timing.
So I'm here. The
Yep.
big one was what?
Somewhere
Here.
near the
Yep.
beginning, yeah. He's.
I
I would have
he
moved
was-
up to him a few feet, by the way.
Yeah.
would be-
He was behind the big
So
guy.
Here?
I probably would have been a little bit higher. Whatever. Yeah.
Sure.
He's behind me.
Okay.
He's like back near the entrance, and he's
So
looking up
he's
past
behind me.
Yeah.
past
Behind
the
you.
one. Yeah.
I'm in front of him. My clone's to the side of him. My echo.
Okay. So I see him. I charge. Ah! And as I charge, I am going to tackle him.
Okay. Make a strength check.
It's okay. Opposing strength checks?
You don't want to burn your fingers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh.
His armor is super hot.
23.
Yeah, he fails that.
So I tackle him to the ground.
Mhm.
Sorry. Can I do that? Like tackle him to the ground? Like be
No,
prone?
you
with him?
can't knock him prone, right? You're trying to grapple him.
Grapple him.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're trying to grab him.
Okay.
I
So
cause
I-
it to do damage.
So I successfully grappled him.
I cause it to do
Can
damage.
I now like take him down to the ground? Like wrestle him down to the ground?
Probably.
Shit. This is important.
Yes.
Heat metal, I just need you to roll a constitution saving throw. If you fail, you have to drop it. If you don't drop it, you have disadvantage on your next attack.
Yep. Yeah. I rolled.
Okay. So you choose what you want to do. And ability
Okay.
checks.
So I want to wrestle him down to the
Okay.
ground.
Let's make opposed strength checks again.
Yeah, heat metal is I use my bonus action to make it pulse damage again. So it's not just constantly on fire.
That time you rolled a 17, so he might.
24 total.
Yeah. You managed to drag him to the ground, and you like pinned him underneath you.
Okay. I will action surge and punch the fuck out of him with advantage.
Punch him. Do it.
Good job.
Okay, yeah, that's 20 a lot. 20
20 a lot.
26.
That hits. That hits.
Okay. Show me what you got.
Yeah.
Show me what you got.
It's like Yasha in the bar fight, where she was just like,
Is that all you got, bitch?
she was like, shut up.
So that is
That's some damage. The one was good.
9 plus
9.
7. That is 16 points of damage on the first one.
With a punch?
Oh, it was
unarmed
with the-
strike is like 1, isn't it?
It's based on your
Oh,
strength
Yeah,
modifier.
it's like 1 plus your strength. Like an unarmed strike is on your weapon damage.
Sure.
It should have it under action.
Yeah, there should be like an unarmed attack
Oh, if
option
it's
in there.
unarmed attack is 1 plus strength modifier. So, yeah, this
Like
would-
you'd still get the bonus from Giant Smite, for example, but
yeah. So
it
the
just-
bonus was 6.
Mhm.
Plus 1, 7. Plus my strength modifier, it is 5. So that's 12 points damage.
Cool. Okay.
It's a big
You have a
punch.
very strong punch.
Yeah. It's a big
Want to
punch.
know how much my punch does? 0.
Mine's also plus 5.
That's what I was clicking butter
Mine
now.
also
It's like
for 6. I don't get the giant smite crap. I just
The Giant Smite is
It's huge, yeah.
Mine is 1
And
minus 1.
then,
You get a second attack with action search.
yeah, the second attack.
Hit first nuts.
Let's just say that my first hit was with my shield hand, so like I beat him like this. The second one, I'm gonna hit with the hammer.
Oh, okay. I feel like, yeah, you're using action search, so I'm allowing it, because otherwise that's a lot of, like, you grapple, which is like an action, then knocking him down, I was like, I'll allow that as like a pseudo action, but then you action search, so you get 1 full attack action.
Yeah.
To attack. So yeah, I'll allow it.
Brutal. Holy shit.
Fighter again.
This is hot
24.
fighter on fighter action.
Huh?
24.
That hits.
I'm a half. It's fighter.
For 3 plus 7, so 10 points damage.
Dunk. Yeah, punch it harder.
You can see that he's bleeding pretty severely, particularly from where you're bashing
I
him.
don't trust him.
He looks pretty rough. But
I don't buy it.
is that the end of your turn?
Fuck that. No
Make sure you
way.
don't kill him.
I am taken aback by that. So, yeah, I'm just like, I guess on top of him type of
At the end of your turn, make a wisdom saving throw.
a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, he's busting out the magic.
Oh yeah, this dude he's faking.
Over in the corner again.
His blood's gonna get like sucked back up into him. He's just like,
15.
fail.
No, that's good. That
Oh.
succeeds.
I'm just gonna control your
You
ass.
notice something very similar and very familiar to you. Across the chest of his armor, a rune flares up with like glowing light. You feel yourself falling into this like stupor, this like hazy sleep, but you shake it off. And a smile comes onto his face.
And then that come onto his face.
Astra, are you doing
Can you
anything?
like replicate our power? Is he a combat?
I don't know. I think he's just a fighter.
I'm going to wipe the
You're right, neck
expired
in the woods,
flour
maybe.
off my hands onto my pants, and then I'm going to sit down and flip through the pages.
They're gonna be like, he threw his flower. You're gonna have like handprints
I don't know.
on your pants. That's what me.
What happened here?
That's his turn.
Oh. He's on top.
He's still
He's gonna
underneath
punch
you.
you in the marble bag.
He strikes his hands together and he begins to swell. He begins to grow to the same size as you. Same like spear.
Wow.
He's lying underneath you. The blood that's on him, he like takes this glaive and like strikes the blade on it, and the blood freezes over. First off, you take 5 damage from Armor of Agathis, which I forgot to do completely. 5 cold damage.
Alright.
Armor of Agathis?
It's a
It's a
warlock.
warlock feat or warlock thing.
God damn, alright,
Not
alright.
quite
Literally met your
warlock.
match.
Well,
No, it's
It
not
says
a
he's gonna
warlock
try and
ability.
like cut down at you with this glaive.
Okay.
And
Does
these
he-
are there's just a giant furball who's like still twice, pretty much like he started off twice as big as Timon, and now he's still twice as big as Timon.
Yeah.
He's like lying underneath
Yeah,
him.
so like if Timon is like 10, 11 feet right now, it means that this dude is like 15, close to 20.
well, if you,
Be very
He's got, like,
thankful
double
that
your
you gave him
size.
disadvantage with his
Pretty much.
roll, because that was the natural 20. His other roll is a 21.
That's
So
so
he didn't want to take his armor off?
No,
Okay.
no. His armor has runes carved on it.
I want his armor.
His armor!
Imagine if I get his armor, we could be the Room Brothers. No, you need that armor. Although it's probably not dwarf size yet.
So that hits.
Okay.
Yeah, any ability checks and stuff will have disadvantage, assuming he holds on to his armor, so... Might have been the smart play.
Attack here. So the first attack, obviously,
is about to hurt.
10. He takes 13 plus 3, 16.
Yes,
Plus
I
1.
do.
So 16 slashing, 1 cold.
16 slashing, 1 code, so 17.
And then the second attack, that's a natural one, so I won't roll the disadvantage one. Oh wait, actually, yeah, this was still open, so that's fine. So he's done that. He's done that. He's going to use second wind. And you can see him kind of regaining some of his vitality. And then for the bonus action, because he gets to make the polearm master bonus attack.
Question, DM.
Yep. Yep.
Would the stupor not have been a bonus action?
That was a reaction. You use it as a reaction.
Oh, that is true.
Does a 15 hit? 15 probably doesn't hit you, right?
No, it does not.
Yep.
Very, very cool.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Big one. What do you
Yeah.
got?
Well, I grab my runes.
Or I guess Arkmir, is there something you want to do, or if there's anything you all want to do who aren't in the fight, let me know.
How far are we away from this?
Probably like 20, 30 feet.
Oh, really close. Well, I'll just be still on the sideline playing some music.
Okay. Well, seeing this, it's like, holy shit. I'm going to move my echo to him, and then we're just gonna punch him in the face.
Okay.
Yeah, we're right over his marble bag. Yeah, I'm not gonna really burn too much here, I don't think. Let me just quickly check my gauntlet one more time. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take a couple attacks, yeah. Don't want to go pulling it on him, you know what I'm saying? Let's see how he responds. Well, that's a natural... Oh, that's advantage on both, right? So the first one's a natural 20. And the second one is 21.
Both of those hit.
Okay, so for the natural 20, roll both dice. Yeah, not great. 10 points of damage, and the second one is 10 points of damage, both times. And I think I'm gonna back, so my echo can move. Wait, you ran to him, right?
I ran to
So
him.
it's all happening right. So I would have moved my echo, and then I'm going to move my echo again, like 15 feet. It can move 30 total. So
Okay.
it's just going to back up a little bit in case I need to get the fuck out of there. And that's it. Just a couple punches this turn.
Do you take the attack of opportunity?
Oh shit! Bonus action.
Are
I'm
you
going to
pulsing
use.
the damage?
I'm pulsing.
That will
bonus
deal
action.
damage to Timon as well. Because he is grappling.
I am technically grappling
He
him.
is in physical contact with him.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
fine.
take it.
Fine.
You can take it.
Do what you need to do.
Come on, man. You can fucking take this. Yeah. 12 points of fire damage to both. Yeah, 13 points of fire damage. Sorry. I'll heal you. But I pumped him. And again, he either has to decide if he wants to drop it or keep having disadvantage on stuff. Which, based on what Rufe said, I don't think he wants to lose his rune armor.
True.
That's it. That's my turn.
That brings us to Calder. You're not doing anything, are you?
I will just be slowly making my way around to the other side. Like, I'm not going into the arena area at all. Looking to see if I see anything else, like
Linvari related, and
I always forget
then
about
making
this.
my way just to
Always.
closer to the altar thing to take a closer look at it.
There's so much text now for a fight.
Yeah.
God, it's crazy.
Just imagine the pale face coming
Action things.
You're near the altar, is it?
I'll be making my way.
We just watch him go like.
As you walk up closer to it, you notice ripples and bubbles in the altar.
Oh, now you need to do it.
Something's coming out of it.
This is very much
Goes there.
Yeah. No, something's being summoned for sure.
You know was it the Sadakar in Dune? This is what this is reminding me of.
Okay, Timon.
Okay, so I'm on top of him. Technically, I guess because he is grappled, can we say that like I have my feet on his chest or something?
Yeah, sure.
And that's how I'm getting damage.
I mean, he's pretty big, so like you're sitting on top of him, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
You're just a paperweight on his stomach.
So I look at him. First, do I notice any kind of red lightning on him, like on his eyes or on his weapons or
Not at
on
all.
his armor?
You're crackling with red lightning energy.
Yeah.
but not at all.
Can you? I have never met somebody that had this ability other than me. Well, first, do you yield?
He's just smiling up at you.
Smile at me? Alright. Alrighty then. So I will take 2 attacks. First one. This. Oh, both the same. It's probably the hit. 14?
14 misses.
Okay. Now try again. For 18.
18 misses.
That heavy armor too good.
Fuck. I will also.
Your first attack kind of like grazes him in the shoulders. He like moves his head out of the way. The other attack like just swings and almost bounces off his armor.
That's mighty impressive armor, and I will slap my hammer on the rune of Agonize for my bonus action. And then, like you see the hammer head start like violently crackle with red lightning that just extend the all the way to Timon's arm, and then his entire body is kind of covered.
No?
Nasty.
And I stay exactly what I am on that one.
Okay. What's that? Astra, are you doing anything?
I'm still reading,
Okay.
and I'm starting to like it. It's bad, but I'm starting to growing on me.
It is his turn. And he really wants to get out, but he's not the strongest fellow, surprisingly. Not stronger than you, that's for sure.
That's Stone Dwarf.
He might be telepathy. Dense.
Yeah.
Timon is dense.
So instead, and he passed his Constitution save this time, so he does not have disadvantage on his attacks. He's just gonna swing at you twice.
Okay.
The first attack, this might be really stupid. He's gonna use Great Weapon Master for the -5. Please roll well. Please roll well. Please roll well. Okay, that's pretty good. 19.
The hits? Oh shit, that's a plus. Immediately.
Yep. Is 19 your AC?
No, it's 18.
Thankfully, you only rolled a 1 on the D10 for the damage die.
11.
That's lucky.
Or
Oh, plus whatever his other
strength
modifiers.
modifier.
plus
his proficiency. So that's what, +7? +6? That's a 17 or 18 to hit.
And you rolled a 1.
He also has giants.
Oh, he has Giant's Might, so he rolled a d6.
you take 17 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
and 3 points of cold damage. You would say halved, but you notice that the blade, where it's covered with his blood, it almost like cuts through your red barrier skin.
That's not in my description.
He uses Blood Curse of Exposure on you, removing your resistance to all damage.
So he's a blood hunter as well.
He's a fighter blood hunter, that's all he is. The warlock is through blood hunter.
Alright, so that's
So that was his first attack.
that's
He does take some damage to himself for activating that curse. So that's 2 points of damage.
Ow.
I'm about to make calculus.
The second attack, he's gonna keep using Great Weapon Master because it worked the first time around. Because it's kind of greedy. Okay, that's better. So
what?
he rolled an 18 plus 7, 25 minus 5, 20. So that hits.
Ow.
The Giant's Might attack damage is only on one attack.
Only one.
Yeah, so he doesn't get that d6. And he does get... that's much better. 23 points of slashing damage because he rolled a 10 on the d10 that time.
Is this also not like ignoring resistances?
Yep. He's got Blood Curse of Exposure on. And 3 points of cold damage.
Oh, so 23 plus 3.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he's going to use the bonus attack from Polearm Master for the third attack. Keep going, Great Weapon Master. Why not? That's outside of the dice tray. That's 17 plus 7 minus 5. 19.
Goodbye, Simon.
The Polearm Master attack is less, though, right? It's a d4, but it's still the plus 10. You know?
He's dead. He's out.
So
He's
that's
out. Doesn't matter.
13
Yeah, it doesn't
You're
matter.
plus.
down?
Well, he just took like 60 something damage right
There
there.
was 20 on the first one,
26.
then 26 on the second
And
one.
then
Plus
So
15
it's
probably?
14 damage.
Yeah.
But this one, like, he tries to knock you off with the polearm, and then he, like, butts you with the tail end of it, and, like, that almost, like, catches you in a spot that, like, knocks you out. He's not being lethal with that last blow. He's not cutting through with it. But you do, if you fall unconscious, you, like, flip off of his body. He, like, shoves you a little, and stands up facing you.
God damn.
Arkman.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk over to. I see Calther going over to the altar, which I was looking before, so I'm like, just checking out what's going on.
You can notice that the blood is bubbling, and it seems like the blood is also getting lower. From this.
The blood is getting lower.
Like the amount of blood at the altar. Like the first time you came here, there was more in it than there is now.
Is there a straw?
It's weird to take over.
Is it interesting? Okay, but I don't see any like blood on the ground or anything leading up to what's his name. Okay, that's it. Just observing.
Big one.
Okay.
You can see he's looking really beat up. Like he's not looking like he's
Got something.
physically active. Like, but he does have a wide smile on his face and like a little bit of a laugh and like that sort of like crazy eyes going now. Because he's like hunched low. It's like
okay.
holding
I
the blade in
forgot.
one hand.
Alright.
I forgot about it.
Seeing Timon go down. I will get the echo back towards him, behind him. And I will use Unleash Incarnation again for the extra attacks. And I'm going to use my special thing to try and knock him on his butthole. I can't remember what it... yeah, so I'll use Tripping Attack on the first attack here. Definitely misses. Second attack also misses. And that misses. All three misses. That's my turn.
Calder.
I am going to take a second to
cast, not.
Do you use your bonus action for the heat metal?
Yes, I would. Thank you for reminding me. 8 points of fire damage.
How's Gregor looking, by the way?
He's looking real bad. He's looking like beat up. You can see like bruising and like blood going down from his thing into his mouth, almost. It's like one of his eyes is like closed. He's like wheezing, tired. Like you can smell burnt fur coming from him. He looks rough.
I'm going
Join the battle.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic and see if I can get a sense of if there's something going on here with the blood.
There's definitely a sense of magic tying the blood to Greg. And you can almost make out like a similar trace of magic between the blood altar and him. You also detect that his armor is definitely magical.
Okay.
The weapon is not.
Yeah.
You can definitely detect that the glaive hanging on the wall is magic. Strong magic. Probably the single strongest magical essence you've seen on a magical item ever.
Goddamn.
It's almost like glowing and radiating with a combination of enchantment and necromancy.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Okay. I am then. I'm just gonna pay closer attention to the fight thing that's going on now that I've turned around and see that Timon is on the ground.
Do you shrink?
It doesn't say that I do.
Okay. Yeah, that was my action.
Okay. Simon, you're unconscious, so
Do I roll
Astra.
that save?
No,
He's
'cause
not- he didn't
went
try to kill him.
non-lethal, yeah. I don't have any bonus.
I'm taking out my quill and I'm making some suggestions.
okay.
I'm correcting some spelling errors.
You can see this giant furbolg with this like massive glaive. He's like limping, staring at you. The Echo's right next to him.
Yeah.
Okay. You see him shimmer and disappear. He goes invisible. He's using the furbolg ability hit instead.
Yeah.
Furbolg ratio. He is invisible.
Okay. Is it Parker's turn?
It is Archmage turn.
You said he's invisible?
Thinking 1 second, actually. Your Echo. Can your Echo make attack of opportunities?
Yep.
Your Echo, because he's like limping and he's like dripping blood behind him, your Echo has a pretty solid idea where the figure is, and he is stepping away from the Echo. So you
try
get an
these,
attack
right?
of opportunity.
Does it have
The
any
attack will be disadvantaged.
advantage? Okay.
He may be doing little footy prints of flour too.
Oh, man.
The first one was good. The second one wasn't.
Do those drops of blood show up on the ground anywhere?
I mean, yeah. You'd have to go and take a look at it.
I take a look.
There's a bunch of blood on the floor from where he was beat up before as well. There's a lot of blood
Oh,
there.
right,
But
I'll
you
see
can
if
you
it
can tell
like
generally
somebody
like which direction he's going in. Like obviously you want to know his exact location.
Okay.
Because like you'd have to do like an investigation check or something to tell. But you have a general idea of where he is. Like attacks against him for mechanical sake, attacks against him would have disadvantage, but you can make those attacks. Like you know where he is.
Gotcha.
Wait.
Okay. I'm just gonna message Calthy and like, do you know what's going on with this? Because I'm looking at this altar and it's draining.
Am I allowed to respond right now?
Yeah, you can. You go like almost right after.
Okay. I don't know entirely, but this altar seems to be tied to him somehow in some magical nature. I don't know much beyond that. I don't have a good sense of blood magic.
On that note, I'm gonna take like a cup or something. Just like just give some blood out. Just kind of toss it out of this
Try to, like,
altar.
drain it
From the
more.
altar?
Yes.
Is he just gonna like,
What are you using to scoop it out?
No, like a flask.
You
Oh.
stick the flask in. it just dissolves and burns away. It's not normal blood.
Touch it.
You smell like burning glass and whatever like flask or vial you were using just dissolves in it.
And glass
Like
shards
sizzles.
appear on his body.
I'm gonna do one more thing, for out of curiosity. I'm gonna take an old. Actually, no. I'll probably do the same thing. What happens if I just pour a little bit of water into there? Just out of curiosity.
You can try. You take like a flask, pour water, and it just fizzles up into steam almost immediately, like burns up.
I'm just gonna message back to Calther like, I don't know if this is blood.
Blood magic.
And other than that, I'm just gonna start to look at what's going on. I'm just holding
Make
my.
an investigation check.
I was holding a reaction or something. It's a 9, so that should be a 17.
You
Yes.
notice briefly a spark of red lightning arc across the surface of the altar, of the pool of blood.
In reaction to, like, nothing, it just happens.
Just nothing as you're walking away from it.
Chaotic blood.
That's your turn done. Big one.
Yeah, so I'm going to where he went. I'm going to walk over to time and cast Cure Wounds. Might not be a lot, but it is 8 plus 4, 12 points damage. Healed. And then I will also use my boner action to pump him again. Yeah. 9 points of fire damage.
Oh. You smell a burnt flesh coming from.
I got 2 different animals burning with heat metal in this campaign.
Okay, he rolled a natural 20 on his Constitution saving throw.
My big friend.
How
Kelter.
much was it? 12?
12.
Oh, it's back to me?
Yep. I mean, you were acting out of turn with the replying to Arkmir, I think, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. I mean, maybe I might try to see if I can glean a sense of anything else on with this altar or anything by like just investigating it to see if I can understand what's at play here with the detect magic up. Maybe like what kind of magic.
The detect magic, you detect. Hold on, what are all the schools of magic again? There's definitely some necromancy going on. That's for sure.
There's like evocation, divination. Divination.
Probably transmutation.
Transmutation.
Transmutation and necromancy are the 2 strongest ones that you detect. You also notice with your passive perception, like a small like arc of red lightning kind of move across the top
Is
of the
he
altar.
still going on lightningy?
I don't.
It says here that the Giant's Might doesn't say anything about losing it if I go unconscious. So it's up to you.
I feel like probably is. I will double check, but probably is. I mean, you probably are still giant. Would be my guess. I will double check though.
Yeah, it's not like it's a concentration.
Then I'll also just, if I'm able to, say in your head, Arkmir, like, it appears there's red lightning at play here as well.
I noticed. It's really peculiar.
And I'll continue watching the what's going on.
Okay. That's done. Timing. You come to, breathing heavily. The big one standing over you.
I didn't hear no.
Like Tywin, like he hasn't taken a beating like this since
long time ago.
Since what was his name? Gallery.
Yeah.
So, this dude's strong. I will force my way up. I will steal my resolve with second wind.
Ooh, nice.
It's the thing I always forget.
So that is a 1d10 plus 8. So there's a raw die on this 10 roll. Okay, 4. So I recover 14 points. So I will heal 14. Okay, so I can't tell where he is.
You can kind of tell where he is, but attacks against him will have disadvantage. But
Right.
he is also probably like 40 feet away from you. Like he's over at the other end of the room. He's taking a little bit of a breather.
Okay.
Like you can tell based on like the trail of blood that he's been leaving behind. Like you can pretty easily tell kind of where he is, even though he's invisible.
Only a trail of blood?
And a faint flower footsteps. Flower. What happens if you mix blood and flour?
It
I don't want
probably
to
just
know.
Okay.
gets like all pasty.
Question, DM. Would I feel like taking the dodge action would also make no difference with his ability to cut through my defenses?
No, I mean you don't feel that. Like dodge would be kind of like you're moving out of the way of getting hit potentially, right? So
Okay. So I will run towards
you can tell almost that like his cut, like the blood that he was using was letting him get through your defenses and probably any defenses.
Mm-hmm.
But it was costing him his own like life energy and his own blood in order to do that.
Cool. So I run to the center of the arena, like after having resolved myself, and I take my shield in defensive action. I say, "Come at me! I'm not done yet." And that's it. That's my turn. Bonus action, movement, and action to dodge.
Right? Asher, are you doing anything?
Nothing different. I'm still just
Okay.
going through the book. What?
You should release the novel at this point.
Yeah.
He is going to come out of invisibility. He's going to point his spear at you, big one, and say, "Let's just say this between me and the dwarf then." And he just charges at you straight up.
Okay.
Yeah.
No!
That's what he's asking for. It's up to you guys if you do it or not. You
Yeah, but if you
leave
just-
when the big one tells you to leave.
But he's just gonna kill you again.
He is
keep bringing
going
it
to
back.
make an attack roll.
Okay, with disadvantage because of the dodge action.
He's technically still invisible when he makes the attack.
Oh, he's
So, yeah.
Straight roll.
Yeah, it's a straight roll for the first one. He is going to use Great Weapon Master on this one.
Okay.
-5. That is a 2 + 7 -5, so that
No.
definitely misses. The 2 + 2. And then the second attack will, because he's already out of invisibility, he will have disadvantage on this. That's a natural 1. So he misses with that. Yeah, you just see him like with this glaive. And the funny thing is, you've seen Caltir with this glaive, right? Caltir's fighting style, the few times that you've used it, is more stand up. It's more ornate. He's just savagely flinging this blade around. Kind of similar to a fighting style you have seen before, but not for a long time. If you remember back a long time ago in Ward 8, Eridoc, the Leonin, he fought in a very similar sort of like reckless abandon, like flailing about, almost just like wild nature, low to the ground, flinging the blade, and like almost like a grace, but also just like sheer ferocity. He flails at you these twice, and then he tries to make the Polar Master bonus attack, which is also a disadvantage. That's 2 11s. He's not using Great Weapon Master for that. +7. So 18. Does 18 hit?
Runic shield.
Ooh, nice.
Hey, you remembered it.
So you,
Oh, is that the mistake you made?
Yeah. The thing that he could have used when he took 80 damage. Oh,
yeah. So you need to roll again.
Just one roll now, right?
Just one roll. Tell me it's lower than 11.
It is. It's 10.
So it's
Yeah,
So 10 plus 7, so 17.
Misses.
You just see him flail at you twice, 3 times. On the third attack, it looks like it would hit you, but the rune on your armor or
Yeah, it
your
could be on
shield
the
just like
shield one, yeah.
flares up and like knocks it off. And he's like, those runes, quite intricate, but rough. Seem untrained. That's it. Arkmir, it's your turn. What do you do?
I want to dip the tip.
Yeah,
Dip the tip. You know.
Uncurl it.
The bladed word into this blood.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
You see Arkmir unsheath this like long black bladed rapier. And it just like dip.
Just the tip. Just being very cautious about it, but
There's a little bit of a flare and like a sizzle, but nothing seems to happen.
to the blade.
No, you pull the blade out, it seems fine. You start pulling the blood out of the altar and like throwing it away. Like,
Yeah, just some of it. Yeah.
Wherever you throw it, burns immediately, like sizzles, and almost starts to eat and corrode away at the stone.
Damn.
And you see him turn around. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Probably not his, it's probably the other chick's.
Just holding it there, I'm like, okay. Tossing the rest of it off of my sword. But yeah, I'm just holding my reaction again.
Right. Big one.
Yeah, hearing him say it's between me and the dwarf, I'll just. And I'll slowly just walk by. Time in, and I'll be like, it's all you, cast Cure Wounds. For, what is that, 16 points.
Oh, I will take
And
that
then
very
I'll just get
gladly.
my Echo to come and sit right behind him. Behind. What's his name? Gregor. Yeah, behind Gregor.
Okay.
And I'll just turn around and watch.
Calther.
I think I'm just watching what he's
doing.
I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm just like,
He's channeling his inner and hello blood artist right now.
yes,
Very much so.
yes. He's a painter. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch the rest of this go down.
Timon.
Let's take this all the way then, and then I will clasp my my steel ring on my beard and cast the storm rune.
Oh shit.
All right.
finish him.
And I will take is he in attacking distance for me? Is
Yeah.
he in attacking range?
He's right in front of you.
All right, so I will. Yeah, I will attack.
Get up.
No, I need to draw a die for this.
Destiny.
18 misses, right?
He misses.
Oh, that's his DC.
No.
Or AC, sorry.
I will
gotta be
use my
higher.
bardic inspiration.
Oh shit.
I will use my bardic inspiration for 19.
19 hits.
He rolled a 1.
As you're about to swing, you just see your head. You hear like,
That part.
yeah.
Roll the dash for one.
Very nice. Alright, this is 11 plus 7. 18 points of damage. 18 points of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
And I will
He's
go
looking
and,
real bad. He's
and I
looking
will
real
go and
bad.
attack
You can
again.
see him almost like that strike really catches him on the stomach and he like falls down almost to like
I
one
hit him
knee.
square in the chest.
No.
And then I will attack again for 19.
Yeah.
That hits.
Make sure it's not fatal.
Yeah.
No, make sure it's
Alright, there's this 14 points damage.
You take your hammer, you strike him once in the chest, it just like knocks the wind out of him, knocks him down to one knee. And your second strike right in the same spot, just like he coughs up blood. You can notice some of the blood from like the altar almost just like there's like a large bubble that almost like pops as he coughs it out. And he falls down to one knee. The blood in the altar is almost completely drained at this point.
The blood that he coughs out, does that burn, or is it just regular blood at that point?
Regular blood.
Okay.
He's almost done. He's still up. Barely.
That's my turn. Action, bonus action. I assume by movement, I'm just staying right next to him.
He's gonna go for it. First attack. Did you turned off the thing? Did you use it this turn? Okay. First attack. 12.
I'm gonna wait till he says it, and I'm gonna cast it again, so he has to take it off.
Second attack.
I'm gonna sneak into his bedroom and steal it.
I'm gonna use Great Weapon Master. Fuck. That's a 5, that misses. And then Polearm Strike. I will not use Great Weapon Master. I should have used Great Weapon Master. Does an 18 hit? 18 is exactly what it
beats
is.
it.
Are you gonna use the Storm Rune thing?
I will use the Storm Rune. You roll again.
That time I really should have used it. That's a 19 on the dice. So a 19 plus 7, so 26.
That hits.
It's with the butt end of the pawn though, so it's only a D4. But he gets the plus D6 for Giant's Might and plus D4 for Blood Curse. So that's 4 points of cold, 6 points of slashing, and 4 points of cold.
So 10 total?
Yep.
Alright.
He is going to... The last little bit of blood in the pool finishes and wears out. It's empty.
Okay.
As he uses that to make the damage break through your thing again. He has to do it every turn that he's trying to attack you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. Okay. 22.
You see once again, like just as he connects with the back end of his spear, where it hits you, it feels incredibly hot, and you see one of the runes on his shoulders flare up, and these chains erupt from the ground and grab you around the ankles. But you're able to shrug them off with your feet easily.
I've seen that.
That's the end of his turn.
All right.
Are you doing anything?
It's my turn.
The pool of blood is empty.
No, I think still just watching.
Big one, are you doing anything? Calther, are you doing anything?
Nah.
Go chime in.
I mean, I could just eat his ass.
Fuck him up.
Nah, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna let Timon handle it.
Let me just double check something real quick. Is the altar? Was it just the blood in it that was giving off a sense of magic? Like now that it's empty, is it? There's no magic coming off of the?
Yeah.
Okay.
The altar itself doesn't seem magical.
Okay. That's it. I was just kind of keeping an eye on that. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything.
Timon.
All right, I will attack.
You will attack.
26.
That hits. And you paint me a picture of what it looks like if you hit him.
So when he tries to shackle me, I will do almost like a spin. But as I spin, I will come with the hammer and I will hit him in the head.
You strike him in the head and he just crumples to the ground, collapses on his side, breathing heavily but unconscious. Your blow to the head just almost immediately knocked him out. He's just lying there.
Does he look unconscious?
He's unconscious, yeah.
I will. Can I take a quick second to inspect his armor?
You can.
Yeah.
It seems very well made, and clearly enchanted, and it's clear that he's built it over years, decades. These runes that are carved on it you recognize the idea behind the runes, but they're not the same runes that are carved on it.
They're not dwarven runes?
They're not dwarven runes at all. They are in a completely different character set. script.
Do I recognize a common dwarvish giant gnome?
They're giant.
They're giant.
They are giant.
Why
You
is she
recognize a
topless?
giant nature for them, which is interesting because you've been getting similar effects from dwarvish runes, but these are clearly giant runes that he was using on his armor. It's also made of a material that you do not recognize. It's incredibly light, allowing for like quick and fast movement, regardless of how like much heavy defense that it provides.
So I don't know this alloy at all. Interesting. And how many runes are in the?
Make a history check.
No.
19, natural 19.
Oh.
Plus 0.
You've heard of this metal. It's incredibly rare, and you have no idea where it would be found. It is the legendary metal mithril.
Is mithril?
It is mithril
You should.
plate mail.
That's the thing that only the House of Corn has access. Okay.
Like you've heard tale, there could not be anything that could provide this much protection and plating at this light of a weight.
Means you have to take it back and return it to its mother.
If you take it off him, I'm gonna heat it.
So I guess I recognize the fire rune and the stone rune. Do I see any more runes in there?
You do not.
It's just 2.
Just the two.
Do I see any runes on his weapon or on any trinkets that he's wearing? Any like?
Nope.
Interesting.
I've been making my way over to.
He's unconscious now. So.
Can you help him?
Yes.
There was a fair fight. But he almost had me.
Yeah. It was a close one.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you. Oh, rats. I haven't taken a beating like this in a very long time.
He did the same things you do. I don't know if you noticed.
I did notice he has some runes here, some that I know, and he is very good.
He was very tough.
It's very, very tough.
Were you flecking paint over there when I was?
Seems
like
like
that.
it was blood that was tied to Gregor somehow. It's consuming it some way.
Interesting.
I can't explain it.
I'm gonna kneel beside him, and I'm just gonna cast and say, "You can get up now," and cast Healing Word on him. But I'm also gonna be looking at, even though it's just a coat of arms, while I'm saying that and casting, since I'm channeling Linbari's power, just like looking at the moon up on the coat of arms. Not expecting anything to happen, I'm just looking at it while I do.
You get the faintest sense of sadness and anger, just emotion washing over you a little bit as you cast the spell.
I'm so stupid.
Yep.
My arm increases damage at level 7. And I've been rolling the lowest one the whole time.
I know you didn't.
So he gets 5.
Godly deals 1d8
I
bludgeoning damage at
disagree.
level 7. His damage increases it to 1d10. Damn it.
He takes a deep breath.
I mean, he
Looks
set
up.
himself up.
Son of a biscuit.
Thank you.
And I extend a hand.
He reaches out and grabs it.
I tried taking off his armor.
You pull him up and he's heavily breathing. Haven't been in a fight like that in quite some time.
I mean, it was
That was mighty impressive.
2v1 as well for most of it. You're very talented.
I expected better. How will I keep this house safe? How will I keep my mistress safe? I need to practice more. He's just looking a little bit crestfallen.
You have ability similar to mine.
I noticed you carved similar runes. Are you a member of the Runic Order?
The what?
The Runic Order.
I don't know what that is.
You're not from. You're not from Clan Nostromer?
No, I'm from Clan Ironbeard and Stone Shield. And I saw these runes appear to me most of the time at the red lightning storms. They presented themselves to me, and I carved them on my ring, and there's one on my shield. There's one on my hammer, and there's another one here, a smaller one, but it's kind of erased now.
You're saying the elemental lord spoke to you through the lightning storms?
Aganas? Is that?
His like eyes almost like widen a little bit, and he just like stares off past you. I think you need to go find my clan. The Deadwood, they can help you find. They can help you find Clan Nostromer, understand where your power and gifts are coming from.
Clan Nostromer?
Nostromer. Nostur. Nostru, sorry. Nostru. MIR.
Nostromer?
It's one of the clans that wanders through the wilderness and through the desert. They're a nomadic clan. They're the ones who taught me this rune work. I trained and lived with them for quite some time back in my day. More recently, I've been fairly out of practice with the ways of the runic order. I've been more focused on some of the newer blood magic abilities that I've been granted by my mistress.
The runic order is that the same thing as the Clan Nostromer?
Yes, sort of.
Do they follow some?
There aren't many members of the runic order.
Do they follow some deity?
No. I personally don't know. They tend to appear randomly. They're kind of like a wandering knights or something.
Oh, they wander at night?
I've only ever met one of them. Clan Nostromer keeps their ways, but an actual member of the runic order, I don't think I've met one. Or I met one a long time ago.
Do they carry some sort of insignia or coat of arms or sign or?
No, but I think he called himself Lord Constantine.
Oh, you fuck.
And that's probably a good spot to wrap up the session.
Fuck. His name popped up again. Yeah.
That was a good one, guys. Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Holy shit, Rafe. I need to take like 2 pages worth of notes after this.
He's Teddy and he had soirees.
Yeah, that's soirees every night.
God dang it.
2024
is about to be a banger.
That was fun.
I completely forgot about my runic shield until I went down.
Just for canon purposes, is this what Shae looks like?
No.
How did you draw Shae?
Topless.
No, it's tasteful. It's a sex dungeon.
It's not a sex dungeon, guys.
That is a great drawing. I love it.
You don't like that? I think she look at the hair.
That is amazing.
Wait.
She was like the little
Much more frail and innocent than that.
little emo hair.
She's wearing like a
Sideways emo
nice
hair.
little like blue sundress, just all
She ain't
perfectly innocent.
I mean, she
and-
took the armor off.
I also didn't have enough room for dungeon, so because she sucks at arts and crafts, I added an extra piece and then put Iana at the end. Alright, anyway.
Alright, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. That was super fun.
Bye!
Calidune Manor.